So, once again, it's so nice to be before you today. And I'm still going to be talking about, let's have one house, please. One house. One house. One house. Business people are always obedient. All right, so this afternoon, that table, please, one house. We are still talking about systems, how you can scale in your business. Toluwalashe, did a very good justice with his presentation, and Uncle Fijabi actually pushed this on. So today I'm just going to try and tell you more stories. By God's grace, I've been in business for 30 years. Yes, you can clap. Because when you do business for 30 years, your eyes will see many things. All right? My very first attempt at business, that was 1995. The business survived 2 years. It was doing well at the beginning, and towards the end of 1997, the business nosedived. Now I can sit down and look back and ask myself, so why did the business fail? The biggest reason why the business failed, amongst all other things, was that everything about that business was revolving around me. I was the alpha and the omega of the business. The driver must report to me. I must sign every document. I must see everything that goes out of the business. All right, so 21 years ago, Monday we make it 21 years that I started my current business. And currently I have over 100 staff. And we have branches at least in 2 African countries, Cameroon and Ivory Coast. Hallelujah, yes. I give all the glory to God. I give him all the glory, considering where I was coming from. All right, so I won't be giving you theories. I will be giving you life lessons. So when I was going to start this current business, I was coming from the other business that failed. So entering into this new business, of course, there was fear in me. And starting it, I started the way I started the other business. Because then I didn't know what made the first business to fail. So I started the same way. And this concept was something much bigger than the first business. The first business was just a small thing for Abeokuta. This one was going to be a global business. And then I started it, everything revolving around me. In fact, I started being the only staff because the idea was so new in Nigeria. It's background screening, helping organizations to verify their staff, whether they are original or not. So nobody was doing it in Nigeria when I was going to start. By God's grace, I pioneered that new industry in Nigeria. But I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I have the idea. And then I was coming from the background of one field business. So when I started the background screening business, of course, I didn't even have money. So it was even difficult employing staff. I know they were asking a question, so if you are low on cash flow, or how do you start your business? I was very low on cash. So I registered the complaint. It was a new concept. And even trying to convince people to buy into the idea was also a problem. So I was doing it all alone. The only one that believed in the idea was just one person, and that was me. And I was low on cash. So I could not even employ other people with me. So I sat down to develop my proposal. Thank God I learned how to drive. Then I will drive around corporate companies in Lagos, and I was dropping the proposals. And then, of course, I'll be the one following up with them to know whether they've seen our proposals and if they could give us opportunity to come for presentation. You know, I was everything. I was the business development officer. I was the dispatch officer. I was the marketing officer. I was everything. I was now also the CEO. You know, I did some very crazy things back then because I was planning a big business. I didn't have money to employ staff. Then I had, those times, the GSMs were just coming out. So I had a multi-link line. Of course, you can carry it around. So I have it in the car with me. So I will go around dropping proposals. And once in a while, some of the companies we have dropped proposals will give me a call. And then I will say, what do I do? So the first time I did it, it was so funny. So I picked the call, and they said, there is a call from Fidelity Bank. So I said, this is Alex. Of course, I changed my voice. I said, this is Alex from Background Check International. Would you like to speak to somebody here? He said, can we speak to your MD? I said, hold on. Then I will pause. And then, of course, Alex was my PA, and Kola was the CEO. So if you look at what is here, is Olugbodi, Alexander, Kola Wale. All right, so the middleman there was my PA, and the K there was the CEO. So Alex is always picking the call, and then he will pause. He must speak fast, and then when he passes it to Kola, Kola must speak low. Say, hello, this is Kola Olugbodi. How can I be of help to you? Say, is that Background Check International? I say, yes, this is Background Check International. And then, of course, you know, it was in that type of doing drama, you being the only staff, that I got a call from Unilever. And he said, we got your proposal. I said, yeah, we dropped one with you. He said, can you come for presentation? I said, okay. What day do you want us to come? We, not I. You understand? And of course, they gave us a date, and I said, we'll be there. I was the only staff. And, you know, after I dropped the phone, I said, Unilever is a multinational company. If I go alone, they will say, are you the only one? All right, so I spoke to one of my cousins. I didn't even have a laptop. I used my cousin's desktop to produce my proposals. Then used his printer, and then I was buying ink to the printer. And then I just told him, I said, Kayode, we are going for presentation at Unilever, dressed corporately. Then I told my younger sister. Then I told one of my younger brother's wife. So all of you, we are all Background Check International. Let's go. Of course, we got there, and I told them, when they ask general business questions, you can all answer. When they ask technical questions, keep quiet. I will answer. And to the glory of God, we got our first job. Yes, you can clap. That was 21 years ago. And then I got the job. Then the next problem was, so you've been advertising that you do background check. So how do you do it? So, of course, normally what background check entails is that you need to liaise with higher institutions, visit corporate organizations where people worked in the past, visit the police to be sure the person doesn't have criminal record. So the guy schooled in UI, worked somewhere in UI, IITA. So I was going all over. Of course, then the work was so tedious. I said, is this how I'm going to be doing it? So a lady was asking to start IT with me. I didn't even have an office. My car was my office. So there was one uncle that I knew was into outdoor advertising. So his own staff will come in the morning, and then they will go out because they do outdoor, and then come back in the evening. So I spoke with that, my uncle, and he said, you can come when my people are out. So I resume when the people are going out. I close office when they are coming back. And of course, I got the first job. That was Unilever. Got the second job, Fidelity Bank. Now, talking about system, I'm using this to start saying, how did I start scaling? I didn't have money to pay the guy daily doing IT. She was doing it almost for free. She is IT. And then I didn't have any staff. So the first job, I did that by myself. Fidelity Bank, their nature of work they wanted us to do was going to entail some level of investigations, which was more than what I can do then. All right, so I started thinking, you can't do investigations. What would you do? Then I started talking to friends in the military. I need somebody that is good with investigations. And then they recommended some people to me. And I told them, I'm going to use you guys on Haddock. When the jobs come in, I will call you, and I will pay you. And that was how I started doing it. And then the first job Fidelity gave to me was a trial job, and it was very fine. And so they went to bring one that I never imagined anybody will give to me just starting business. You know, somebody sued the bank, and she was asking for 100 million for damages, you know, and they wanted me to investigate that. And the MD of Fidelity called me, and, you know, my head was, I was coming for a background where I was still paying debt to the people I was owing in the first business, so I didn't even have money. But then, one thing you should have as a businessman, you should have your brain, and you should be able to think very fast. So I sat there, and then they told me the case, and the case was in court. And they asked me how much I was going to charge. I'm not even sure I had 10 or 100 naira in my pocket to get to that place. I said, this case is delicate. I'm going to charge you 1.5 million. You know, I mentioned that, and as a businessman, just do your face like this. Don't betray yourself. And then we started negotiating. Then I was praying. I said, God, even if they will pay 200, I will do it for them. But outside, of course, in negotiation, once you mention a figure, don't drop it, or else they say, oh, this one does not even know what he's saying. So as I mentioned 1.5 million, I had to stay there. So we started after some long hours. And then with the intervention of the MD, we got to 750. And of course, we did the job. The guy that did it, I paid him 100. He did a very good job. And that was how the business started. You know, it was at this point that I felt, wow, this business is going to be big in my hand. And I don't even know what to do with it. That was the first time the issue of money came. And I needed to scale, even in getting money. So I spoke to some of my friends and siblings. I said I was going to sell shares to them in my company. And this company is going to be very great. If you invest in this company, you have the best company. And they all believed in me. We gathered 5 million. And with the 5 million, we got the first office. Then employed 5 staff. Now I'm already scaling. One of them was into business development. Another was into operations. Then another was going to be doing all the letters going out. And then we bought 5 computers. Then I had 1 laptop. And then the business kept on growing. And then we moved to 10, then to 25, then to 50, now to over 100. One of the things that helped so much in the 21 years was that I could change my mindset. One of the problems that many business people always have is that you always believe people will cheat you, but you can't do it alone. No, you can't do it alone. You can't. For so long, I've always told myself, I'm going to do it alone. But then when the thing started, in fact, when the operation started, I remembered, and we had almost like 5, 6, 7 clients. And these were big clients, Citibank, Standard Chartered Bank, ExxonMobil. I was doing all the reports. I didn't trust anybody could write the reports of our findings the way I was going to write it. What if they write jargons? Then I will sleep in the office, bath in the office, continue the next day. You know, then it got to a day. It was one of my staff that delivered me. Emeka just came to me and said, they call me Oak in the office. Said, Oak, you always do as if you are the only one that can write reports. We too went to university. He was saying it jokingly. So we too went to university. You know, when he said it, it was like, oh, really? Then I gave the report writing to like 2 of them. I was guiding them so seriously. And they started doing it very well. Every client that we got into the company, I must be there with them. I must do the marketing. I must be there for the presentation. But 21 years down the line, I can't even remember the last time I went for any presentation. Those guys even can do it better than me now. What I'm trying to say is that you must overcome the mindset of saying, oh, they will steal from me. Are they stealing from me? Of course, yes. But you see one beautiful thing about when you begin to bring system into it, when you begin to allow others to take some aspect of your business, it begins to... Now, what I do for the business, 21 years down the line, I don't work in the business again, even though it's my business. I work on the business. What many business people do is that you are working in the business. So you can't decipher what is happening in the environment. You can't decipher how far the business can grow. I don't know whether I'm making sense this morning. You can't decipher that. But when I sat back, I wasn't writing reports. I wasn't following them to just any type of presentations, except it's very high net worth company, and they specifically said your MD must be there. In fact, some of them, I said, even me, I know I must be there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You have very smart people. So the strategy in business is that every CEO always wants to see themselves as the best and the smartest person in the company. You are making a mistake. I made that mistake. When I see very smart guys that want to work for me, I say, Then with time, my eyes opened and said, so is it Mumu people that you want to employ? That every day you sit down and you are telling them the same thing every time. and nothing is changing. And I had to give up. And I started getting very smart people, smarter than me. In fact, when those, and some of them are still very young, in their 20s, when they are saying some things, I say, in fact, I jokingly tell them, I used to mentor you guys, now you are mentoring me back. Because the things they tell me, I don't know when I was going to know them. You need other people. You will always need other people if this business was going to grow. When I was the one that was doing everything, writing report, going for marketing, we were not, the business was not growing. And I always tell people, if it's just that it's revolving around you, the business will only go at the rate that you are growing. You know, there's a scripture we always quote. One will chase 1,000. But when you get another very intelligent guy working for you or working with you, 2, you will chase 10,000. So it's not going to be, when I was doing it myself, it was arithmetical progression. But when you bring others, you will go geometric. 1 is chasing 1,000. 2, 10,000. 3 will chase how many? Let's even say we are growing at the geometric progression of 10. So 1,000 times 10. 10,000. 10,000 when you are now 3. 10,000 times 10,000. 10 times 10,000. What is that? So 3 will chase 100,000. 100,000 times another 10 if you are 4. 1 million. Actually, sincerely speaking, that's how business grew. It's not because you are very brilliant or intelligent as a CEO, even though you must. But learning to know how to bring others that will help you grow the business. The Cameroon thing, we launched it, I think, in April. The only thing that I did to get the branch in Cameroon was that they were just reporting to me. It was these young people that negotiated with the team in Cameroon, brought them to Nigeria, did everything. And when it was time to launch, they said, "Sir, it's time to launch. You are following us to Cameroon." I said, no, it's not possible. I have to be in U.S. And truly, I have to be in U.S. They said, "Sir, cancel U.S., follow us to Cameroon." I said, "You guys, you can go." So maybe you are the ones that did it. Say, "We are 100 of us. We are not as important as you. Follow us." So every CEO should just become a brand. Become a brand on your own. You understand? Your business is a brand. You are also a brand. And the brand, that's why they call me Oak. Anywhere now, this is my brand. Oak is the one that owns BCI, but he works on it. And then you say, I built myself to be an authority, even though I can be a shy person. A business person, you can't be shy. Some people visit my social media and say, "Wow, you're active on social media." I said, if I'm shy, I must be active somewhere. I don't know whether I'm making sense to us. I brought in people to handle the different aspects of the business. Brilliant people running the business development, brilliant people working on the operations. Now, very, very brilliant young girls, most of them are girls, working on our media. In fact, the things they are pushing out these days, even me, I will sit down and say, is it me that will now conceptualize this? When will I have the time? I think Tolu mentioned time. Uncle Fitabi also mentioned time. A CEO should use his time. What I do most of the time, if I'm in the office, It's not on the operations. I am working on the staff. I can sit down with them 2 hours. What happened to you? Something happened to my child. This is, I said, sit down. I was one day, I saw one, her eyes was just everywhere swollen. I said, what happened? She said, I fell down. I said, this is not looking like somebody that fell down. Sit down. What happened? Then she broke down, started crying. What happened? My husband beat me. Your husband beat you? Give me your husband's number. Of course, I was not going to harass the husband. I said, what happened? We were not doing this before now. And I intervened. The husband spoke to me 2 days ago, after many years. And I had to intervene. I said, I said, I'm sorry. Is that supposed to be the work of a CEO? Yes! Work on your people. Mentor them. 2 years ago, when I was having my birthday, I went there so carelessly. Birthday is birthday, happy birthday to you. And then they started talking. In fact, I can't remember the last time I cried, the way they made me to cry that day. One of them said, you canceled me and my husband. He said, even when we didn't have money, he said, go ahead and marry. I said, did I tell you that? He said, yes. He said, we married and then we didn't have children. You were buying medications for us until we had the first one and the second one. I said, no, I remember the first one. I can't remember the second one. And then they started saying it. I remember one of them, she was going to commit suicide. Some things just happened and she was just going to kill herself that morning. And when they told me, I ran to her house. I work in Lagos. I live in Abeokuta. I put her in the car. I said, we are going to Abeokuta together. I didn't plan it. She spent the weekend with myself and my family. And then my wife was talking to her. I was talking to her. She was seeing everything. And she said, I've never seen life the way I saw it this weekend. I never knew life can be this good. I never knew. And when that girl started talking that day, she was crying, of course. Crying as a way of being contagious. What I'm saying is that as a CEO, be jealous over that business. But if it's going to grow beyond you, it's not going to be you that is going to cause the growth. It's going to be others. And that's what we call scaling. Using others to scale. Scaling simply means using others to create a process that make your business keep growing from one level to another. Now, over time, we started also now creating systems even in the department. The operations before now, many of the things were manual. But with time, we discovered that the volume of job coming in can't be done the manual way. Then we started going automating everything. And then after going the automation way, we discovered that the job at the point was still getting slow. And I was saying, what should we do? What should we do? I said, we need to scale more. Before now, everyone in operations, if you're working on this account, that is your own account. You do everything. And we discovered that the thing was coming out low. Very slowly. So we decided to create a system again in the operations. You are not, a single person is not working on a single account again. You are going to do a part of it, then you move to another team, then you move to another team, and we just got that thing started moving again. So what I'm saying is that even when you start creating systems in your company or putting structures in place, you keep putting system in within system in within system. Now we've automated all our services. In fact, we've digitized it, that the things that almost 50 people were doing before, We just need just like 10 people to do. And then 10 people doing it, you're going to get far more than what the 50 were doing. So what should I do with the 50? Sack them? I just created subsidiaries. I say, you go and head this. 1, 2, 3, follow her. You go and head this. 1, 2, 3, follow her. The Cameroon team, I'm just a chairman. I'm not in their operations at all. And things are moving. And those guys are giving me plans. Sir, after Cameroon, we are moving to this, we are moving to that. It's me that is slow down. I'll be asking you, so how do you raise the money? They say, we are expecting this money from Chevron. When Chevron comes in, we'll push it into this, and we'll... So it's me that is doing listening. I'm not the one that is now telling them, let's go to Guinea next. Let's go to Gambia next. They are the ones moving. One last thing maybe I should say before I leave. Entrepreneurs, business owners, don't raise staff. Long time ago, I told them, I'm not raising staff here. I'm raising business owners also. I'm raising leaders. I'm raising partners. So when I sit down with my staff, we don't talk, I'm saying staff here because I no more call them staff. We are friends, we are colleagues. Are you listening to me? As long as you want to always be the most brilliant person in the room, you will always want to treat them as staff, as if they should not know more than me. Of course, some of the staff had gone to start their own background check businesses. Good luck to them. And some of them, at the point I say, go and start your own background check business. I'm going to support you. I'm raising entrepreneurs. I'm raising leaders. I'm raising consultants. As I telling them almost like 10 years ago, at first many of them did not understand. Now, they all think like entrepreneurs. They think as if they are the owners of BCI. BCI is Background Check International. They think as if they are the owners because I made them to have that sense of ownership. What else am I supposed to say? Scaling will take you very far. To take you very far. And scaling will give you peace of mind, like what Uncle Fijabi said. I may be out of the country for the next 3 months. The only thing they are giving me are reports. I can check emails anywhere I am. I get whatever is happening. Unless they are stuck, then they will call me. But the business, I'm not building it around me because that was what made the first business to fail. It was just rotating and revolving around me. This one, I'm out of it. And now I'm starting a public speaking company. And I'm not starting alone. I'm taking people that will be doing the social media marketing, that will be doing this. They will do the marketing. And the only thing is for me to get up on the day that I want to go and speak. And I will speak. And I'll get paid. They will get paid. And everybody will laugh. And then we move on. If you want to really enjoy your life, enjoy your health, and yet see money coming in, and you are wondering how it's coming in, it comes in when you have a system. When you raise trusted employees that I call partners, you will see things just working in ways you can never imagine. I think I should stop here. Thank you very much.